Hi everyone, welcome to English with Sepid. Today we are going to work on a very important grammatical point about past tense, okay? But before getting started, pay attention to the link above, okay? So you can find the previous videos, okay? You should just watch them in order. If you watch them in order, you're going to learn more and easily. Let's get started. Now, today we're going to work on was and where. But what are these, okay? So what are the base form of these? Was and where. So let's go to the grammar in order to see. So you see two pictures, okay? You see a house, okay? A person who is at home and a person who is sitting on the bench in the park, okay? So this is about now, okay? Right now, this person is at the park. But how about the past? Yesterday, okay? The day before today. So we call that yesterday. Now, yesterday, home. How should we just form this sentence? Now, let's go to this part because it's really easy to make a sentence about now. Okay, we learned that the previous sessions. We can say, Robert is at the park. So am, is, are. We can use these and describe the people and the places that they are in. So we can say, Robert is at the park. Now, how about the past tense of that? About yesterday. So, Robert was at home. So, what do we understand? The thing we understand here is that the past tense of is was. Okay? So, is changes into was in the past tense. Pay attention to that, okay? So how about am and are? How should we change that? Let's go to more examples here. Let's go to formula actually, okay? Then we're going to work on some examples. Now, these are all in past tenses. I, he, she, it. This time, the formula changes. The subject pronouns change. Pay attention. So always we said I, we, you, they, okay, but this time it is totally different. We use I, he, she, it, along with was. So we understand that past tense of am and is, are, was, okay? So pay attention to that. So how about we, you, they? So the past tense of are, is, where. Okay? So that's it. So we should say I was hungry. Okay? I was hungry. I needed food. So he was at home. She was kind. So we are talking about a person who is no longer here or who is no longer alive. She was kind. We can talk about Mother Teresa. Okay. So it was a beautiful day. So we are talking about the past. Okay. Or it was a great party. Okay, instead of saying it is, because it is, we are talking about the time that we are just in now. However, if you want to talk about the past, yesterday, last night, okay, last year, last month, like this, we use was. It was a great party. Now, the negative form of was is wasn't, okay? She wasn't angry. Or I wasn't home. I wasn't home. So how about the question form? So we should just change the places, swap the places of was and the subject pronouns, the same formula as am, is, are, okay? So just remember that was I, was he, was she, was it, okay? So for instance, was it a good day? Okay? Was she kind? Was he angry? Okay? Like this. So was I is just rarely used. Sometimes when we want to ask some questions, for instance, about ourselves. So was I impatient? So I want you to just tell your opinion. Because of that, I just formed this question and we just rarely use that. But mostly or commonly we use these subject pronouns in order to just form questions. Let's go to the next part. We, you, they, okay, were, okay. We were happy, okay. You were sad. They were at the party, okay. So again, we're talking about the past tense. Yesterday, last night, okay. So what else we can say? Last week, 2 days ago, like this. So here, the negative forms are were not, or short form is weren't, we can say. So they weren't or were not. They weren't at home, like this. So let's go to the next part, the question forms. So were we, were you, were they? Just we change the places of these, the subject pronouns and this one, was and were. So we can say, were you angry? Okay. So, or were you with her? Okay. Were you together? Like this. So the past tense of am and is, we can say is, was, and the past tense of are is were. So that's all about this part. Let's go to more examples and more points. Now, let's take a look at our examples. So the first example, I was tired last night. So I am energetic right now, okay? But I was tired last night. So it refers to the past. Pay attention to this. So there's a point here. I was. Here, am has changed into was to show the past tense. Now next, you were late yesterday. So I'm early today. But they say, you were late yesterday, okay? So we are talking about the past tense. Now here we change are into were. Pay attention to that. When I was a child, but now I'm fully grown, okay? So I'm talking about my childhood. So I cannot say when I am a child because I'm not child now. So when I was a child, I was scared of dogs. So I was scared of dogs. It means now I'm not scared of dogs. But when I was a child, I was scared of dogs. Scared, okay? So let's go. The hotel is it here, okay? Just pay attention. The hotel was comfortable, okay? So we change is into was in order to talk about past tense. So, but it wasn't, okay? So we change isn't into wasn't. It wasn't expensive. So let's go. The question form. Were you in the office this morning? Were you in the office this morning? Okay, so here it says, yes, I was, the short answer, okay? Instead of yes, I am, we should answer yes, I was, okay? So pay attention to this point because we are talking about the past tense. Now, was Tom at work yesterday? Was Tom, it means was he, okay, at work yesterday? No, he wasn't. I don't know why, we just missed it, okay? Sometimes these mistakes happen, okay? So we slip up sometimes. Let's go. Was Tom at work yesterday? No, he wasn't, okay? This is the negative form of that again. So these were all about was and were. Let's go to the practice part. Now, let's turn to our practice part. So, the first sentence is in negative form, okay? All of them are in past tense. Let's go. They here last Sunday. Okay, for they, we should use were. The past tense of are is were. Okay? Were and negative. So, they weren't. They were not. So they weren't here last Sunday. Now let's go to the affirmative sentence. The weather, it, okay? The weather nice last week. So for it, we should use is. Past tense of is, was, okay? So it was nice last week. Now, your shoes are nice. Now the question, okay, because the first blank is empty in the second sentence. They expensive, question mark. So for they, we should use were, okay, shoes, because two shoes, like this. So were they expensive? And no, they were not or weren't. Let's go to the next question. Tom and Sue, okay, again, they. So Tom and Sue at the party were Tom and Sue at the party? Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Or no, they weren't. Now, the children, affirmative sentence. The children again, they. So, the children in bed. The children were in bed. They weren't outside, okay? But if it is one child, we say the child was in bed because he or she. So, that's the point about that. So if you want to talk about your memories, try to use this tense. It's really important. Now that was all about it. So that's the end of this session. See you next session.